Dear students, in today's class we will see deadlock characterization. It means that the reason for deadlock, there are four possible conditions are there, so which should be satisfied to occur the deadlock. A deadlock situation can arise or cause if the following four conditions hold simultaneously in a system. So first condition is mutual exclusion. At least one resource must be held in a non-shareable mode. That is, only one process at a time can use the resource. So if another process also requests that resource, then that requesting process must be delayed until that resource has been released. And the second condition is hold and wait. A process must be holding at least one resource, and it should be waiting to get additional resources that are currently being held by other processes. So next, third condition is no preemption. Resources cannot be preempted. It means that resources cannot be taken by a process and they cannot be allocated or given to another process. Okay, so that is, a resource can be released only voluntarily by the process holding it after that process has completed its task. So the fourth condition is circular wait. A set of processes P0, P1, P2, P3 up to Pn of waiting processes must exist such that P0 is waiting for a resource held by P1 and P1 is waiting for a resource held by P2, like this. So is waiting for a resource held by Pn. So Pn minus 1 is waiting for the resource which is held by the Pn, and Pn is waiting for the resource which is held by again P0. These are the four conditions which will cause the deadlock. First one is mutual exclusion, second is hold and wait, third one is no preemption, fourth one is circular wait. Okay, methods for handling deadlocks. So we can deal with this deadlock problem in any one of these three ways. So we can use a protocol to prevent or avoid a deadlock by assuring that the system will never enter a deadlocked state, or else we can allow the system to enter a deadlocked state and we have to detect it and we have to recover it. Third possibility is we can ignore the problem altogether and pretend that deadlocks never occur in the system. The third solution is one which is used by most operating systems like Unix and Windows. It is then up to the application developer to write the programs that handle these deadlocks. Next, we elaborate briefly on each of these three methods for handling the deadlocks.